What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Jayden here. Jayden? That's a great name. Good thing it's not mine. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Jayden here. Grab your seat, because guess what? It's time for the sit down. Today on the sit down, we will be discussing what representation and ownership means for different types of things. Before we start though, I want to thank everyone for their support, their love that they showed me on the first video. It was a lot to deal with and it was a lot to get there, and all we can do is grow, baby. So thank you guys so much for watching, supporting, subscribing, and just keep doing what you're doing. Please share, please comment, please like, subscribe, do all that great stuff. So now, if you don't know, I record on Mondays, meaning throughout the week, things may happen that I don't know about. So what I'm talking about has to do with last night with the Emmys that went on. So the Emmys went on and a few people won some great awards like Jerome, I'm blanking on his last name, I'll try and remember it, and Billy Porter also won an Emmy for a lead role in Pose. He's the first openly gay black man to ever win an Emmy Award for a lead. And the conversation every time we go into award season and stuff like that is why this is so important, why this representation is so important. And it's so interesting to me because sometimes I feel like while representation is important, ownership is also just as important. In order for us to dive into this conversation, we have to know what they mean. Representation, by dictionary, means the description of portrayal of someone or something in a particular way or as being of a certain nature. But to us, when we see representation, it's just having a person in a space that we're not normally in, fighting for us and holding a certain honor and delegation for us. Like with the Emmys last night, how Billy Porter represented for the Black LGBTQ community by winning the Emmy Award for best lead actor in a TV show. So on the other side of this conversation is ownership. Ownership, by definition, is the act, state, or right of possessing something. But for us, there's really no ownership. There's few people who own businesses and certain things who have the delegation and the ability to create representation, but ownership is something we're still fighting for, and that's a discussion we need to have today. As we know, there's a racist history with the different award shows like the Grammys, the Emmys, the Tonys, all that great stuff, where like black people would do just as amazing on these different albums, these different movies, these different plays, these different TV shows, but they weren't shown the same awards as their white counterparts were having. And it was always just a struggle of like, should they actually get this award because they did well, or should we just give it to them because they're black and so we can have that black group still love our award show? Because a lot of the times, I personally feel like the award shows only give us the vote because they need that black viewer. Almost like we're not discrediting anyone who's won an award, because if anything, more people should have won awards, but they only give certain awards to certain people. Like, every time these award shows come out and we have this conversation about representation, it's almost like, what actually are they representing? Are they representing the coming of a new age, of a new era, or are they just like, we're doing this for them? And again, I'm not trying to take away anybody's credit, because Billy Porter, I love Pose, and he rips that character. But are we giving him this space because in the white world, we socially accept him? I feel like everyone knew Billy Porter was going to win, but that's how it's set up to where, like, even though he is an amazing actor, it's almost like they're giving him that space just to like show like, okay, y'all, we not racist. We still do acknowledge y'all. We still do reward y'all. But it's like, of all the nominees, there was a lot of black stories that were told in the past year. Of all those nominees, there were so many people who didn't win, who deserved to. Okay, next. So with ownership, I want to talk about ownership, but I also understand why we don't have it and why it's not a thing that we're used to yet. One, ownership in general is just having the space to own something. So it's like, owning your music, which like Chance the Rapper, he's a independent artist. No Name is an independent artist. They own their music. They own the rights to their music. If I'm saying all this while I'm putting my stuff on YouTube, so like whatever. But it's like, say I owned my own streaming platform like YouTube, and I put my content on there. No one can profit off of that unless we have a meeting about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless I'm also making money, you can't put my song in your commercial because it's in my contract. Like, if I'm owning everything and I have ownership of my life and of my talents and my gifts, no one else can take that for granted. So when we're talking about ownership and representation, with ownership is seeing Black Panther and seeing yourself in these characters. I mean, that's with representation, I'm sorry. With representation is seeing Black Panther and seeing yourself in these roles as female bald warriors and stuff like that. But ownership is who made the money, who made the real money from that movie. Not us. Not us at all. But there's also like, we haven't reached that point in history yet where we have the ability to own things for real. So like, we're just starting to own homes. Like, it's a thing where we don't actually have the access to ownership. So like, that's also a thing that plays in my mind. But like, this next generation, I see a lot of like owners and business people and entrepreneurs coming up where like they're trying to own their own businesses, but we just need the support of the people in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you're opening the door by leading us into that representation. But now, while we have it, we need to start putting in our own facilities for us to use. Being the, what's it called? The gatekeepers for what society sees of us. Because if we allow people outside of our race to control our race, we'll never be whole in our race. I feel like I said something, but I also feel like I didn't. Look what Rihanna's doing. Look at what Rihanna, it took Rihanna to go into, pay attention. Rihanna went into the beauty business, came out with extraneous amounts of shades, and then everybody else started dropping shades left and right. Now it's 14 more companies like, we have every shade too, But it's like, it's because they didn't see that our representation would matter. So the fact that now she has ownership and she can create that representation, look what it's done to the rest of the community. So people don't think that we deserve the representation or we deserve that that inclusivity. They don't think that diversity will actually sell. And it's like, look at Victoria's Secret and how they just are letting trans women be models. But that was because they had so much backlash for it. And they literally said that that's not their brand. And brands don't see that inclusivity will get you more bread. Like, they don't understand that. So when Rihanna did her Savage Fenty fashion show, let me be correct. And she had people who have amputees walking, people of all shapes and sizes, trans women, men, lesbian, drag queen, like she had everyone represented, and there was no space for you to even be like, well, I'm not here. Everyone was there, and it just felt so good to watch because she literally talked about how she wants every person to feel beautiful, to feel sexy. So the fact that she was able to do that, how much you want to bet in the next year, 20 campaigns are probably going to have the same outline because it takes one of us to show them that we will buy that. Like, we will profit off that. We will market that because if you give us love, we will give you love. That's just that. And if you give us the representation we deserve and start to give us some of the ownership, because y'all be taking a lot of our stuff and thinking it's y'all's, but we literally created it. But if y'all give us that ownership and give us the space, and Tyler Perry said it in his BET Awards speech, he was talking about like, y'all are fighting for a seat at the table when I'm over here trying to build my own. Take time now and learn how to, so just being more intentional with what you're doing and help and support Black creators and Black artists and Black people who are just trying to build their brands and build their businesses. we have not had the availability to build wealth in this country. So now that people are, support them. Support them. Support can go from buying their item or subscribing to their channel or to just sharing. Share what they're providing to the world, because there's someone that may be following you that probably needs this. But you're literally, because you'll repost what Kanye tweeted or repost what SZA tweeted or repost what Rihanna tweeted. A person who doesn't know you whatsoever, from a can of paint. But your best friend from 3rd grade is trying to start up their new t-shirt brand, and you can't even repost. Or you reposted the one time. You're not asking, like, do they need help? Like, you know you're good with event planning. Do you want to plan an event for your line? Do you need help getting your name out there? Do you need help with business cards? Just anything, like, support your friends. And I'm going to end it there because supporting your friends is a whole nother topic, and we can get into that next time. So I just want to say right now, be more mindful of what you're doing. Be more mindful who is representing you. Be more mindful about ownership around you. Watch who's owning things. Pay attention. Know what you're getting yourself into. Know who's the gatekeepers of you, what you're seeing, what you're doing. And start owning your own businesses. Get out there. Do what you need to do. So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Tap that bell, baby. Like Jackie Ina say. Please do everything you need to do. And support me, okay? Because we out here, we broke. We college students. We just trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? So please have a good one. Thank you guys so much for watching The Sit Down.